Hi Leo, welcome to your mid-July 2017 General Tarot Update. It's Rena here, and yeah, this is a general focus for the end of the month. We'll put these cards over here, and we'll put this one. Okay. And one thing that I wanted to say, and as I was thinking it, I was pulling all these cards that were wands, so it was like a lot of fire energy, is that the end of July ushers in for Leo a very exciting and maybe pivotal period of time for you, because you do have a new moon in your own sign. You have your solar return, first of all. And actually, you know, right around that time, I don't know exactly, I think the sun goes into Leo on the 22nd, and right before that, you have Mars going into your sign, I think the day before. So all this Leo energy, fire energy, is kind of represented here. Okay? And fire energy is passionate, and it's very, it's funny, even the Emperor card, this is associated with Aries, so very passionate and ambitious too. So let's look at what is going on and what I see here. I do see it, you know, when I do these readings, I just look at it and see what the theme seems like. The theme is represented by the Nine of Wands, which is a card associated with protecting oneself. Could be a barrier, could be, you know, like a wall, not a literal wall, but just being wary of something. And it can have to do with something going on at work, and perhaps you feel the need to protect yourself. I actually think that for some of you, you have some idea in your mind, and you don't want to share it because you feel like, I mean, either you don't want somebody to steal your idea, but it could be because you don't want somebody to discourage you, because we have in the past position the Three of Wands, and this is a card of expansion and creativity, and I tend to think of it as your own business, and because of that, and because you still have Saturn in your 5th house of home business, which is kind of very helpful for laying the groundwork for that sort of thing, that can be something that you have been working towards maybe for a while, and yet you're kind of keeping other people out of your plans because you want to launch. You know, this is a card of launching, and perhaps that is after that new moon in your sign. And I always like, the thing I focus on most is that portal, that stepping through that threshold to a new life. Now, this is a new financial life, a new business venture, and definitely these cards are very full of passion and excitement. So you're not just doing this for the money, you're doing this because it allows you to express yourself creatively. And that is very important to Leo. Very important. You are the 5th house. You know, you rule the 5th house of creativity. So that's very important to you. So the higher message is the King of Wands. This is like you being your own boss. And the thing that I think this card represents to me is entrepreneur. I can never say that word, entrepreneurship. Is that how you say it, entrepreneurship? The entrepreneurial spirit, which, by the way, is creative, and I didn't make that up. Somebody said, you know, being creating your own business is a creative endeavor, and I was always kind of at a loss as to why they would include it in the 5th house as one of the keywords. And now I understand that it's because it is something that you're doing, that you are coming up with everything, your logo, your mission statement, whatever you want to talk about, the things that you actually provide for the public. You know, these are creations, and you're doing it. And when you're doing something, it's not just like the ego. It's because it's an imprint of your soul, the energy of you as an individual, that in a minute quantity is being kind of woven into everything that you do. And that is very, I was going to say seductive for a Leo, but definitely very attractive to a Leo person. The idea that they can imbue their essence into what they do. So this is one of the reasons why Leos are such great leaders, because they have a tendency to they have a vision, I should say. Leos will be probably desperately unhappy if they're in a job that has no possibility for them innovating or doing something that they come up with. And also that they are just taking orders and they don't have any freedom, okay? Freedom of expression, freedom to act in a way that they see fit. So that is something that feels right to you, the fact that you feel like you're the captain of your ship. The King is the ultimate in authority, and Wands is the ultimate in creativity. So when you combine the two, there is that empowerment, that self-empowerment that comes from doing your own thing and expressing your soul in what you do. What crosses you is the card represented by the Emperor. It could be an Aries person who is problematic for you in some way, but it can also be that you are exhibiting the negative qualities of the Emperor, which are being a control freak, being too rigid, which you are a fixed sign, so black and white, my way or the highway. You don't want to be a petty tyrant in whatever it is that you do. Obviously, no man is an island, so even if you have your own business, you still have to. You might have employees, you might have people, clients, and you have to be flexible. You have to be able to see another person's point of view. And if you have difficulty doing that, it will show up in the ability for you to have things turn out the way that you want them to. You may find that there is some kind of, what would we say? Just a complication that comes from not being as cooperative or as bending as you need to be. And you are a generous sign, but sometimes the generosity is limited to the area of money, and you need to be generous of spirit. And this means, not to just expect everybody to bow down to you and to cater to your whims, So what is coming in is represented by the 8 of Wands. This can be quickly moving events, things happening at a lightning speed. Perhaps there have been kind of starts and stops along the way for you. And now everything is really getting together. It's interesting because this can be back and forth communication. You do have Libra in Jupiter, or Jupiter in Libra, I always say it backwards. in your third house of communication until October. And now that Jupiter is direct, it was retrograding for 5 months. And I think it's not until the end of July that Jupiter has fully emerged from its shadow. So that could be the time, the catalyst for things to really start to speed up. You may still feel a bit of a lag where you have been wanting to, I don't know, hear word about something, and then all of a sudden everything starts falling into place a lot quicker. And the outcome is an interesting outcome. The Seven of Cups. This can be a card of many options, but sometimes this card can be about, it could be telling you to pick wisely from your options. You may get some options that look good but really aren't. This can also be a card of confusion. So if for some reason you're somebody who feels that you want to do things in a certain way, and you hear word, you know, this is you going back and forth about something, and you're still not sure exactly what it is that you need to choose. Like if there's some kind of a special decision, it might be dealing with work matters. It could have something to do with your love life. You might have a Pisces person especially come into your life. But the point of all of this is, do not choose based on a limited belief system, which I don't think many of you have. I think most of you are very expansive in your beliefs. But you're human too, and sometimes because you do have that stubborn streak, you may feel like there's only certain things you can do. I would say keep your options open is kind of the advice. Don't settle for less. Don't be influenced by fast-paced events. Don't let your head get spun around so that you make a very rash decision about something, because it could come back to haunt you in some way. And with all the other things that are happening, with the eclipses that are happening in in August, that will be affecting you, maybe already affecting you in July, you want to, and there's going to be, oh yeah, and that's the other thing too, there's going to be a Mercury retrograde on August 12th. So that could also be what's happening, because at the end of July, the shadow period begins of Mercury retrograde. So things may start to be a little bit distorted. These messages. So don't, if it's something that isn't pressing, just wait and see. Take the wait and see approach. Okay, Leo, this is pretty awesome. Pretty passionate. I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like a private reading using your natal chart, please click on the link below. Otherwise, have a great rest of July. Bye.